Now, I would like to ask Mrs. Dr. Yanki Harti Justi, I hope the pronunciation is right, who is the assistant professor in Indonesia University. And I just know her, I think, since 2 months ago because of a conference we were together. And her very, very interesting book regarding Corona topic. And I would like to ask her to share the screen and start the presentation. Dr. Yankee, please start.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to this very fruitful webinar. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
At the moment, yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, so to make it short, I will just go ahead with what am I going to present. So just now, Professor Kanis Raja is talking very interesting story, concept about cultural and the leadership, etc. Now, I'm going to talk about how it is implemented in the organization. So the title of my presentation is From Remote to Hybrid Working, Are We Ready? So once again, I'm Yanki Hartiasti from the University of Indonesia. So we know that COVID-19 has accelerated digital transformation. So in today's world, we are now very highly digital environment. So we always connected, access information anytime, anywhere, and we can also work from anywhere. At the same time, we are also very much rely on digital interaction. So we are doing remote working, online learning, online shopping or transaction, virtual meetings, virtual social gathering, online yoga, online cooking class, virtual tour, etc. So they say remote working is more productive. That's why it has forced people to reevaluate their working style and methods. And some of the organization has reduced office spaces. This is why many organizations wants to switch to hybrid working. But are we ready to hybrid working? Let's see. We've been having almost 2 years of pandemic, right? And we don't know until when are we going to have this pandemic era. Hopefully, it's going to over soon, right? So let's analyze how we did it. So during the remote working, some of us are having a work-life disruption. For example, they have low productivity due to family distraction, low job satisfaction due to loneliness, difficulty in disconnecting from work, so they were unable to unplug themselves, and deterioration of social network because they keep being locked down all the time. We are very afraid. Weakening of the sense of belonging, serious mental health due to lack of social interaction. Another thing is potential loss of idea sharing, innovation, and creativity because remote work makes for more silos teams. So it's very hard to do the discussion then. And some of them also feeling undervalued due to lack of regular feedback from managers. So this kind of things has made them having pandemic burnout. So they experience difficult personal situation from the loss of people close to them to their own physical and mental health struggles. And they also experience overwork and digital exhausted due to digital overload and a lack of emotional connection to others. Therefore, some of them got bored, fatigued, stressed, and depressed. So how about this hybrid working? Actually, it is not an easy fix because it's still unfamiliar to lots of organization and unsatisfactory compromise for some. And it also has blurred line between digital and physical world. So between the remote and hybrid working, there is a blurred line. So it creates the dilemma then of hybrid working. So actually, hybrid working is not just about an employee's physical location, but it should also be the way of work, habits, and overall efficiency. But if it is not taken care of very well, it may end up frustrating than flexible. Let's give an example, several examples. There are still the risk of creating in-group and out-group dynamics in hybrid teams because of reduced collaboration and increased conflict due to digital communication problem. And also there is a proximity bias in which workers who spend more time with manager are more likely to rise through their ranks. And some of the manager are still struggling to trust employees who are working from home. Another example is that it could be frustrating to juggling into workspace. Especially there is a lack of essential office supplies at home, inadequate internet connection to do their job, yet very little remote work expenses were given by the leader. And high productivity is actually masking an exhausted workforce. So employees feel overworked and digital exhausted due to digital overload, and leaders are out of touch with employees and don't care about employees' work-life balance. There are also shrinking networks which are endangering innovation. We know that when we lose connection, we stop innovating. So, in order to have this hybrid working effective, it should focus more on personal and human digital experience. So we should also feel the personalized experience in the digital, of course, in the digital world. Therefore, I would like to share my tips on how to face the dilemma of hybrid working. So I'm quoting this from my book, which was published last June 2021. And I abbreviated into five words. Yeah, K dark. The keys when facing dark time. Dark times can mean a pandemic or whatever crisis. So it stands for creative, discipline, adaptive, resilient, kerjasama, or collaborative. Let me explain one by one. So be creative in finding solution or opportunities when changes keeps occurring. Remember that during the first month of pandemic, we have to be locked down, work from home, and then later on, afterwards, we can do work from office, and now we have hybrid working. So we just just look at those issue as an opportunity. Yeah, because we must learn from the Chinese that even their word crisis, it contains two words, Wei Ji, danger and opportunity. It means that behind every crisis, there is always an opportunity. So the comfort zone is the great enemy to creativity. That's why we have to move. Second is discipline in health protocol while stay productive. Of course, we must always implement wearing masks, wash our hands, and then stay away from the gathering, etc. We also have to refrain from traveling if we don't have to go somewhere else, right? And nowadays, I haven't been traveling for 2 years already. Yeah, so it's been, very lonely, but have to be healthy. And then we must also be punctual, even though it's just virtual meeting. We must be punctual. We must also meet our deadline for our task. And then don't forget to save our money because we don't know what's happening later on after this pandemic. And we also have to eat healthy food, do exercise, and don't forget to have work-life balance. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And then be adaptive to digital acceleration. Remember, before COVID, many organizations didn't want to do digital transformation. So once the COVID is here, no, there's no excuse. You have to change or you die. Because, with, oops, sorry. Because in order to survive in today's era, we must learn digital skill, no matter what generation, whether it's baby boomer, whether X, Y, or the Z, we must learn digital skill in order to enjoy ourselves having this digital experience because we have to live in a contactless technology, and with that we can live everywhere. We can work anywhere. So when we allow ourselves to adapt to different situations, life is easier. Be resilient to bounce forward when faced with many challenges. So we must change impossible into I am possible by getting rid of negative energy so that we can stay physically and mentally healthy to be productive and be positive. So resilient is accepting your new reality even if it is less good than the one you had before. And the last one is collaboration between several parties to achieve a common goal. So we must end our sectoral ego by collaborating with all the stakeholders, like, for example, government, other organization, our clients, suppliers, even community. And don't forget, we must avoid hoax. So alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Remember, our worst enemy is hiding within ourselves. And that enemy is our false ego. The dilemma of hybrid working is within ourselves. Just get rid of it. Sometimes things may not go your way, but the effort should be there every single night. As a rational human being, do not be defeated by the virus because the book title is a resilient amid pandemic, learn from bacteria. So bacteria is much more friendlier than virus because we have also the bacteria which is giving us a positive effect. So don't be like the virus because sometimes the virus might be in the form of unwilling to be adaptive. So remember, okay, dark. Be creative, disciplined, adaptive, resilient, and willing to collaborate. Just do it. Enjoy your hybrid working as if it is a cultural journey from physical to digital world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yanki Hartijasti. That was really interesting presentation. And I would like to say regarding to virus and bacteria, that was really interesting because in my book I call this virus super accelerator. And now I can see you talk about bacteria and virus in your book and your presentation, very interesting. Also, that was interesting. You said impossible to I am possible. That's also very interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Yankee. We will do discussion at the end of the webinar.